All right, let's dive into this gritty, heart-pounding tale of crime and betrayal ripped straight from the streets of 1988 Dallas. Buckle up, because this story has got more twists than a back alley deal gone wrong. Welcome to the Masked Channel, the dopest spot for spine-chilling horror and true crime stories that'll keep you up at night. If you're a fan of wild tales, smash that subscribe button and let's get rolling. Today's story kicks off in Dallas, Texas, May 20th, 1988, in a quiet little neighborhood called Pleasant Grove, where things are about to go from peaceful to pure chaos. The story: a Dallas nightmare. Back in '88, Dallas was a hot mess. The drug game was popping off, and with it came a wave of crime. Robberies, murders, you name it. The streets were wild, and families were straight up fleeing to safer spots. One of those families was Sam Wright, a 57-year-old dude, his 31-year-old wife, Evelyn, and their little 3-year-old boy, Andre. They ditched their old hood for Pleasant Grove, a chill suburb where everybody knew everybody and crime was supposed to be a distant memory. But on May 20th, 1988, that peace got shattered. Gunshots rang out in the middle of the night, waking up the whole damn neighborhood. A neighbor, peeking through her curtains, saw some shady shit go down. 4 dudes, looking like trouble, dragging Sam, Evelyn, and little Andre out of their house and into a car. The neighbor's heart was racing, but before she could process it, Sam pulled a Houdini, breaking free and bolting down the street. He turned to her, yelling, "Call the cops!" She didn't hesitate, dialing 911 like her life depended on it. The police rolled up quick, led by Sergeant Jerry King, a no-nonsense cop from Dallas PD's crime unit. They scoped out the Wright's house and noticed something weird: iron bars on the windows and doors. This wasn't some suburban aesthetic. These folks were scared of something. Inside, they found a body sprawled out on the floor, a young guy, no older than 30, with a bullet hole in the back of his head, execution style. No fingerprints, no weapons, no stolen goods. Just a cut phone line outside and signs of a break-in. The cops ID'd the body from a wallet still in his pocket. David Wilburn, 25, Sam's sister's kid. Poor dude was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. The neighbors confirmed David was a good kid. No enemies, no drama. So why was he dead? And who were these 4 goons who snatched Evelyn and Andre? Some witnesses remembered seeing a driver with Latino features, someone who'd been to the Wright's place before. But Sam? He was MIA, and the cops were scratching their heads. Why hadn't he shown up at the station to report his wife and kid being kidnapped? Something wasn't adding up. Interactive question for the audience. Yo, put yourself in the cop's shoes. You've got a dead body, a missing family, and a dad who's vanished after escaping a kidnapping. What's your next move? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you hunt for Sam, track down the driver, or something else? Let's see who's got detective skills. The feds got called in since kidnapping kids is a federal crime. The FBI, led by Jose Figueroa, jumped on the case, knowing time was ticking. Most kidnapped kids don't make it past the first 24 hours. Their first lead? Find Sam Wright. They dug into his past and found out he was a wanted man, on the run for 3 years. No wonder he didn't roll up to the precinct. He'd be locked up the second he walked in. The FBI played it smart, handing out business cards to Sam's friends and neighbors, begging them to pass along a message. Sam, call us. We'll keep you safe, and we just want to save your family. Days passed with no word, but Sam was out there, moving from friend to friend, trying to fix this mess on his own. He thought he could play hero, but the situation was spiraling. Finally, one of those FBI cards made its way to him through a buddy. Sam caved, calling from a payphone to avoid getting traced. He spilled to Agent Figueroa. The guy behind this was Gino, a dangerous dude who'd just gotten out of prison. Sam didn't want to turn himself in, scared he'd be behind bars while his family was still out there. The FBI was like, "Gino? Who the hell is Gino?" But a Dallas cop overheard and dropped a bomb. Gino's got to be Gennaro Ruiz Camacho Jr., born September 14th, 1954. Dude's 37, a big-time drug dealer. He'd done 4 years for drug possession back in '78, got out in '83, and built a rep as a major player, moving product and raking in millions. His crew? A tight circle, including his girlfriend Wanda. On May 22nd, 2 days after the kidnapping, the FBI hit up Wanda's place. She played dumb, swearing she hadn't seen Camacho in forever, but her shifty eyes gave her away. They had no proof to hold her, so they bounced. Meanwhile, Sam called again, and this time the FBI leaned hard on his emotions. What about Evelyn? What about Andre? Why'd you get mixed up in this drug shit? Sam broke down, sobbing, swearing he wanted out but was scared for his family. They kept him talking long enough to trace the call. Bingo. They found him at a payphone, still on the line with a buddy waiting in a car nearby. Sam's family lost it, screaming as Camacho's crew tied them up and threw them in a car. Sam saw his chance and bolted, leaving Evelyn and Andre behind. The FBI took Sam's story and blasted Camacho's face across the news, offering a cash reward for any leads. That's when another dealer, Davy Moros, crawled out of the woodwork looking to cash in. He met the FBI at a hotel, bragging he could hand them Camacho's whole crew tied up with a bow. But Davy wasn't a saint. He wanted a deal to let his own drug operation slide. The FBI shut that down, but Davy, moved by the story of little Andre, gave up a name for free. Eddie, Fast Eddie Convenges, Camacho's right-hand man. The FBI tracked Fast Eddie to a business lunch in Oklahoma, 3 hours from Dallas. They nabbed him outside a crowded restaurant, and he sang like a canary, naming Camacho's other goons, Spencer Stanley, the Jackson brothers, and David Cook. Cook was the key. Fast Eddie said he'd be in Steppendale, Texas, his hometown. The FBI coordinated with local cops who confirmed Cook's long rap sheet and pinned him down at his family's place. Cook, facing serious time, cracked after 2 days of interrogation, spilling the whole ugly story. Camacho had rallied his crew to collect debts, starting with Sam's $20,000. They cut the phone lines, stormed the house, and terrorized the family. To scare Sam, Camacho ordered them to put Andre on the couch and threatened to shoot him. When David Wilburn showed up, Camacho killed him to send a message. Sam escaped, but Camacho's crew took Evelyn and Andre to a safe house, Cook's apartment. There, Camacho raped Evelyn while Andre cried nearby, then left his goons to take turns guarding and assaulting her. 2 days later, Wanda tipped Camacho off about the FBI sniffing around, using their code for the feds, Big Brother. Camacho, playing nice, told Evelyn he'd let her and Andre go if she kept quiet. He promised to fly them to California, but it was a lie. Cook revealed the horrific truth. Camacho took them to a fake airstrip in a Texas forest where his crew dug a grave. Evelyn, realizing her fate, collapsed as they dragged her to the hole. They shot her, tossed Andre in after her, and fired again when the kid moved. To cover their tracks, they buried the bodies under tat litter to mask the smell, leaving them mummified when the FBI finally found them 2 months later, after an exhaustive search guided by Cook. But Camacho wasn't done. Cook dropped another bombshell. Camacho killed a 23-year-old waitress, Pamela Miller. She worked at a nightclub, serving drinks and dancing, and got too chatty with Camacho's crew during a drug deal. When she recognized Camacho and started name-dropping his contacts, he panicked, thinking she'd blow his cover. He lured her outside, beat her senseless, and had his crew run her over, then dumped her body in a barrel at Cook's cabin, covered with branches and trash. Later, they took her remains to a family farm, shredded them in a wood chipper, and scattered the pieces. The FBI's grid search found bone fragments, tissue, and Pamela's teeth, confirming her identity. With evidence piling up, the FBI hunted Camacho, tracking him to Mexico after a tip from a confidential informant. Knowing his weakness, greed, they set a trap. An undercover agent posed as a drug dealer, luring Camacho back to the U.S.-Mexico border with a fake $1 million deal. Camacho took the bait, showing up in a tacky floral shirt, blue shorts, and a green cap the agent gave him to spot him in the crowd. The FBI swarmed, nabbing him at the border checkpoint. He tried passing as Tomas Sanchez, but his fingerprints gave him away. "All right," he said, head down, "I'm Gino Camacho." At trial, Camacho and his crew denied everything, but the evidence, bodies, gun, bone fragments, was airtight. Spencer Stanley and the Jackson brothers got life. Fast Eddie got 8 years, Cook 24 for cooperating. Camacho, death row. On August 26, 1998, in Texas, where the death penalty's still a thing, he ate his last meal, steak, mashed potatoes, salad, and strawberry ice cream before getting the lethal injection. His final words, "I love y'all. It's been a good run. I'll see you in paradise." Yeah, right, Gino. This story's a gut punch, showing what happens when greed takes over and principles go out the window. Camacho didn't just ruin lives, he destroyed families, all for a quick buck. And Sam, his choices dragged his loved ones into a nightmare. So choose your crew wisely, folks. Stick with people who've got your back, not just your wallet. Stay safe, stay smart, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.